minus 6, plus or minus 3, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 1. I'm going to take this form and I'm going to simplify it to this because when the Q isn't 1, it's going to give me a lot more answers and I'm going to need to find all of them. Okay? All right, so remember that question. That question was find all possible rational roots. The question was not, what's the factored form of this polynomial? The question was not, what are the x-intercepts for this polynomial, right? I bring this up because on next week's quiz, people often confuse those three questions. Again, those three questions are, what's the list of all possible rational roots? 2, what's the complete factorization thank you. And 3, what are the roots? These are three different questions that people confuse on next week's quiz. Right now, this is the answer to the first question. So, now that we have this list of possible rational roots, how do we go about answering the second question? What is it that we need to do with this list, or do in general, to come up with the complete factorization? Lauren? Sure, I'll ask that question again. Lauren, I'm trying to find the complete factorization of this polynomial. Now, I will tell you, I've already checked, and I'm not going to be successful with factoring by grouping, because I would always do factoring by grouping over anything else, even picking up my calculator, if I could do that, because it's so fast. But I can't do that here, so how am I supposed to use this information to help me come up with a complete factorization? Uh-huh. Great, and how do I know which one of these to use? Oh, that would be very smart. Will you graph it for me and tell me one that works? I'm going to just, while you're doing that, I'm going to pick one, because one is on this list, and see. Do you have it yet? Oh, I'm done. So sometimes, if you guess right the first time, you need to pick up the calculator. And generally what I do is I'll try one or two because I'm too lazy to dig out my calculator. But once I get to one or two and I still haven't found it, I'm now not lazy anymore and I go and I pick up my calculator. Okay, so, and then this becomes x squared minus 5x plus 6, which factors as x minus 2, x minus 3. And so then my question is this the answer to that second question? Is this the complete linear factorization? Emma Egan. Emma Egan says, yes, I see linear factors there. But Lindsay was saying, no, why not, Lindsay?
You forgot to use the factor that you divided it.
This was a third degree polynomial when we started. So many people, Emma, forget this one on next week's quiz. When I ask for a complete factorization, they don't give me a complete factorization. Remember, your complete factorization should be able to FOIL back to the original polynomial. If I've got a third degree polynomial here, this should be able to FOIL out to a third degree polynomial. I don't want you to FOIL this out and get me this. I want you to factor this. My goal is to get you to be able to graph this thing. Look, and now that we have it in factored form, we see x. Yeah, I like that. We see x-intercepts at 1, at 2, and at 3, with a positive leading coefficient on that x to the third, and each of them has a multiplicity of 1. So I know my graph does this and has a y-intercept at negative 6. So if I can get into factored form, I know that I can then graph this thing pretty easily. And the third question, what are the x-intercepts? The x-intercepts were 1, 2, and 3. So remember, we're asking generally three different questions in these problems. The first question is, what are the possible, you really don't want to go up just a little bit. What are the possible rational roots? The second question that you're going to see a lot is, what's the completely factored form? That's this thing here. And then the third thing we're going to be asked for is, what are the roots? And the reason we're being asked for the roots is so that we can graph the polynomial. Any questions about what we're doing? Okay. So, will you take a look at this polynomial and tell me the list of all its possible rational roots? F of x equals 3x to the third minus 4x squared minus 3x plus 4. I'd like the list of all possible rational roots, please. How many objects do you have on your list? How many possible rational roots do you have? Brian Burkich? I have more than 6. I haven't split it up yet. I need to split these up. Having this list here, I don't know what the hell to do with that in synthetic division. I have to do 4 over this, 4 over that, 2 over this, 2 over that, 1 over this, 1 over that. I need to generate all those possible rational roots. See a lot of fractiony ones here, Lauren. I wonder if your calculator's going to be faster than me this time. I'm sort of scared. Most students start with 1. Sometimes 1 is a good one to start with. Yeah, sometimes 1 just doesn't work, and neither does 2, and neither does negative 1 and negative 2, and it turns out it was negative 2/3 and positive 1/3. You're just, oh, which is why I'll use my calculator. Okay. What polynomial is this, Morgan?
That's going to be 3x squared minus x minus.
Right. Okay. Now, you could always try another number from your list of possible rational roots into this. You don't have to turn it into this trinomial and factor the trinomial. But that's setting you up for more synthetic division. And I'd like to leave synthetic division and this list of 12 possible objects to do my division with, not counting the fact that, oh, if this has a multiplicity of 2, that means I divide it in twice, which means 1 would work again. So I've got to check for multiplicities as well. But instead, I can factor this, you can factor this, plus, minus. Hey, Emma, is that the complete factorization? What are we missing? So what factor does this 1 create for me? X minus 1. Now we have the complete factorization. But Sadia, oh no, I meant to ask the question, what are all the zeros of this function? And so how do I go from the complete factorization to a list of zeros? Good here. Opposite, so what would those be? So these were all on our list of possible rational roots. I feel good. I move on. Any questions about this? Hey, I have a question about this. When I look at the original polynomial, why did I waste time with p's over q's? Couldn't I just have done this with factoring by grouping? Then do it with factoring by grouping. You should end up, when you do this by factoring with grouping, with what? I don't know. Let's find out. Please do this one with factoring by grouping. Yeah. Very good. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's Wednesday. I forgot. So I did this. They weren't linear factors. I saw the difference of squares and went further. I was asking for the factored form. I was not asking for the x-intercept, so don't give me plus and minus 1 and 4/3. Pay attention to what the question is asking in tonight's homework. You're welcome. Do you have one, Jason? Okay. I do not. Go to the bookstore and sign one out.
Are you gonna record your lessons tomorrow? 'Cause I won't be here.
We'll try to record my lesson tomorrow. I only remember today halfway through the lesson.
Okay.
Okay.